Hi, Julie Usher here. Welcome back. I'm talking a little bit more about 3D box construction. I have a whole nother video where I talked about how to put these pieces together. So I've got a box already put together here for you, and I'm stepping this one up a notch because I'm going to show you how to put windows into the box. I like doing this because it lends an element of interest, a little depth to the particular cookie. It's purely optional. You can just do flat sides if you'd like as well. So what I've done, I cut an oval into it pre-baking. And I've also cut larger ovals using the standard Atico set. They're slightly larger than the ones cut in the side so that I have some gluing room to fix the cookie into the back side of the box. To glue, I'm using a thick royal icing, as always for gluing, because thicker icing dries more quickly. And I am going to glue from the inside rather than applying it directly to this cookie because there's less chance of the icing actually sneaking out and showing through the window from the front. Now, this cookie is a little short. If it were to rest on the bottom of the box, my R would actually be not centered in the oval. So I've stuck a little piece of paper towel at the bottom to act as a prop until the icing dries. So that should be enough to keep it in place. I might want to come back in. I can see light through the back side, so I'm just adding a little bit more icing here to seal that off. I'm not too worried that the fact that this white icing doesn't match the gingerbread inside because I'm going to be filling this box later. So I won't notice that contrast. Okay, and I would just repeat the same process to put the monogram on the other side. Get a little bit of paper towel, just enough to give it a little support at the bottom so it doesn't slide while it's drying. I want to look at it head on. My B is not centered, so I'm going to slide it. You want to make any adjustments while the icing's still wet, or you won't have the ability to do that later once it dries. And if you move the cookie, you want to make sure that you didn't slide any icing into the viewing window, which I definitely did in this case. You see a bunch right here. So I'm going to get my trussing needle and get that out while it's wet. This is the reason I use a light icing on lightly colored panels, because it's easier to scrape off. If that were blue or black, it'd be problematic. Okay, so to put the feet on, same gluing process. I've just decorated little round cookies. These are fluted rounds from the Atico set. And I'm going to put one under each corner. Here again, you want to be really careful. If your box has been drying for any period of time, it can get kind of brittle. It'd be difficult to lift up, so I always lift with an offset spatula. I've just put a little glue in the center. I want the feet, I'm going to hold this up here until I get the other back foot down. I'm kind of centering the circle right at the corner of the box. I just think it looks better that way. There's not too much hanging out. And again, I'm using a light color just because it's easier to clean up. And right now it's sitting crooked, but we'll put the other feet in and it should look nice and level, hopefully. And I'm putting a fair bit on. You just want to make sure that, all the box is actually making contact with that icing. I'm being really careful not to touch the sides of my box. This one has been stenciled on the bottom, but the needle point on the upper part of the box is quite fragile, so I don't want to touch it after it's dry. I have a little bit, if you're wondering, a little bit of plastic under the box to keep it from skidding around on the surface, and I'm just moving that out of the way. I think that's pretty good. Now, before it dries, again, I want to come back and look at it and make sure that there's no glue showing and that the feet are kind of roughly evenly spaced all the way around. This one's a little further in, and I'm trying to get this one in a little bit further because I think it looks better that way. So there you have it. That's how you add windows and feet to little boxes. And you can do any size feet, any shape. If you feel these are too big, a smaller circle would work fine just as well. In the next video, we'll be talking about how to stack boxes to create even larger than life 3D constructions. Till then, live sweetly.